Hello, Steve Hart, Triple 89 for Steve Hart C9, Star Trek's alleged gatekeeper. Okay, so I'm noticing a strange phenomena. I watched the 7th episode of Strange New Worlds the other night. I wasn't hugely impressed. I didn't really like the comedic tone. It felt very uneven to me. And the performance of the trans actor who had gotten a lot of press beforehand was very problematic. The criticism, of course, up front was that, they're just talking about their gender, they don't care about the character or the actor, they're just using them politically. And I sort of felt like, yeah, it kind of looks like that. But I didn't assume there'd be an issue with the actual episode or the performance. I just assumed that they could act. And then the episode, I'm watching it and I'm like, the first scenes with the actor were a bit weak, but they were kind of talking about some interesting concepts of self and identifying and, are you one, are you the other, are you something else? And blah. That was all interesting, and they played off who they were and what they were, and that all worked. But then once the big reveal happened and they were outed as the villain of the episode, my God, it got bad. The mustache twirling, the over-the-top, the cringe, it was just not camp, not clever, just trying so hard to be clever but failing so badly. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen in an episode of Star Trek. I could not think, and I sat down, thought about this for a few minutes when I was replying to someone on Twitter. I was trying to think of a worse performance from an actor in Star Trek, and I could not think of one. Even Adira, who I think is really weak, she sort of has the same expression all the time and always seems to be stunned that she's like delivering a line. But this other actress, Jessie James Keitel, they think they are so clever and they're so acting this character, and I'm like, wow, that's just, every scene was bad. I just cringe. I can't put it into words. I wanted to do an impersonation, but I know I'm ugly, so I don't want to make it any worse than, it's hard enough just to talk on camera and not look hideous. Oh my God, it's just awful. And the funny thing is, I'm seeing people like, predictably, Jessie Gender saying, this is the best episode of Star Trek ever. I'm like, oh my God. I get that's your team. I get that you have to save face to some extent, or maybe you've got a zero negativity policy, so you can't say anything negative about a trans actor because you don't want to be contributing to the people who would attack them even if they're brilliant. Because there are haters who will just, attack them just because they're trans. I get that. There's homophobes and transphobes everywhere. I get that. But for her to go beyond not saying anything negative, but to say it's the best episode ever, I'm like, wow, you are so beyond bias and really just gaslighting people because of your politics. I'm like, really? I didn't think she would do that. I thought she'd honestly say, well, the trans actor was great to see another trans actor, but they just didn't give a great performance, and just be real and honest about it. But she didn't. And I'm like, wow, that's so disappointing. And then I was watching Trek Yards, and they did a similar thing where the main guy, Captain Foley, started saying how he liked the Angel character at first, and then they actually transitioned to the end of his statement and he says, but I still enjoyed the performance. So he must have said something critical, but they cut it out because Lord knows you can't criticise a trans person or you will be called transphobic and homophobic. And people are so scared. They can't even be honest. I mean, it's one thing to trash someone because they're trans, because you're homophobic, transphobic, because you just, you're a bigot. That's one thing. But to be afraid to actually criticise someone who does something wrong or bad, like the whole thing with Ezra Miller is very frustrating because from all his allegations, it looks like he's doing some very questionable things. But they are all accusations, and they could just be coming from people who have issues with him because of his gender, and he could be being, attacked for that because nothing's been really shown or proven. It's all accusations. And people will jump on that and, he's the worst thing ever because... And I'm like, but has anything been proven? Or are you just believing because... of your, attitude towards, they, them people and so forth. So it's just sad how people are ruled by their bias, sad how people are ruled by the tribalism, sad that people are afraid to be honest, sad that people have to, save face and, zero negativity when really things are negative and should be criticised as such. I just find it really sad and really weird, and I expected better of all these people. And then I feel, how stupid are you that you actually expected better of these people? You thought they'd be honest and have integrity in this world where you only get rewarded for being an extremist on either side. If you're an extreme right-wing person, you are, you're in. You're going to get all these followers, all this, And the same with the left. If you're a huge social justice warrior, you're going to get all these people praising you, and you're a member of that club. And what's in between, which is the real world and sanity and honesty, no one cares about that. I can tell the truth all day long and no one's going to watch any of my videos because I'm not, promoting one extreme and getting attention. It's just really sad. I had to comment on it. Even if nobody watches it, I don't care. I needed to verbalize it. I need some YouTube therapy. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.